Alrighty. Well, this is for Emily938. I'm going to pull into this administration building. I've got to do some work here tonight. It's 1:27 a.m. and I work the overnight shift, and that's what's going on here. I'm going to be doing some work inside this administration building, and in a few minutes I got to go in and report to work. But, well, my shift started at 11 p.m. and I'm in my vehicle because my shift's going to end at 7 a.m. and they're just going to let me go home from the job site. I'm not going to have to go back to the company and punch out. So, Phil in Pennsylvania here, to stick with the theme of what you've been doing. I'm Phil in Pennsylvania. And I got a couple of questions for your question and answer blog. And a couple of my blogs, people have noticed that the side of my nose was scabbed. Somebody asked if my wife attacked me. And my explanation was that I mentioned the morning coffee was a little too strong. She grabbed me by the back of the hair and stuck my face on the stove. If that is what happened, was that a little harsh on her part, or should I have just drunk the coffee and kept my mouth shut? Or do I now know that I don't complain if the coffee's strong? Also, my oldest son is 11. When I go to work, which is I leave the house about 10 p.m., my wife, his mother, is usually in bed or close to going to bed. He's on summer vacation. He doesn't really obviously have school for another couple months. A month and a half, I guess. Does it really matter if there's a curfew? What do you think? Can you stay up as late as you want? I tell him to go to bed about 2:30 because I don't think it's a good idea to stay up all night. And since his mother's asleep, I think without some kind of a curfew, he probably wouldn't go to bed. And he will be watching this blog. He'll get an idea of how this goes. So what I ask you is, what do you think? What's your opinion on that? I call him at 2:30 and insist that he's in bed. Now, could he tell me he's in bed and not be? Yeah, he could. But I think he knows that, I'm serious about what I say. So, what do you think? Do you think having a curfew makes me a heavy father or a concerned one? What do you think about that? Because when I get home at about 7:30, 7:40, by the time I actually get home, my wife's leaving for work by about 8 o'clock-ish. He's pretty much got to watch his little brother and sister until I come downstairs about 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And I count on him for that. And he's got to be somewhat rested to do that. So, my cutoff point is 2:30. What's your opinion on that? Finally, this is one that my wife and I quarrel over sometimes. I see no problem with the kids having ice cream once a day, as long as they haven't misbehaved. My wife thinks that that's very unnutritious, and it is, but they're kids. What's your opinion on that? And on that note, I'm going to go inside and do what's assigned of me because it is 1:30 and let me just park this. Around toward the back. And, well, like I said, I gotta go in and finish putting the insulation and some wiring in, some ballast in the ceiling here so that, well, so that the company can do its work. Oh, this is kind of a pain in the butt, but that's what third shift guys are for. They're to take the burden off earlier workers. Well, we're to make it so that the daytime offices can be open and running and not have any interference from us.